So today we're going to talk about illegal snakes, a new nasty frog species, and where did the snakes go? What's up everyone, and welcome to your Friday's edition of Reptile News. Now today we're going to start off in Florida, where 18-year-old Bailey Hugh was cited for having some venomous snakes. Now, they don't go into a whole ton of detail on these charges. I was reading the arrest report, or the reports, the legal documents, if you will, and some of these offenses I believe are arrestable offenses, but they don't say he was arrested, they say he was cited, and he was cited for keeping venomous snakes without a permit, keeping venomous snakes in a way other than lawful, meaning that they weren't locked up. He didn't have the proper records on where he obtained these snakes. Now, at first, he wasn't truthful about it when investigators got a tip to search his home, and later he ended up fessing up, and he was found with 10 venomous snakes without the proper paperwork, without the proper permits, without the proper housing and everything. And what bothers me most about this is I've always been very outspoken that I don't want the government in our business. I don't think they have to be in our business. I think, unfortunately, that we've conducted ourselves in such a way that they have to be in our business, though, and it's just going to be a fact of life for us moving into the future. And it's situations like this that proves they have to be in our business, because you see, these snakes were being kept in Tupperware containers on a shelf in a closet. Yes, Tupperware containers. Now, everybody that knows what escape artist snakes can be knows that keeping them in Tupperware containers on a shelf in a closet is not very smart, not wise, especially venomous snakes. But hey, it is what it is. Bailey's he got in a little bit of trouble. He's I'm not sure. I know one of the charges is a misdemeanor, but I know the other one carries a mandatory court date for that. So he'll have to answer for his crimes in court and hopefully learn his lesson and move on within this hobby in a legal fashion moving forward. And now we're going to talk about some science-y type news. And you know, we never really get too much into detail on this science-y type news because so much of it is understandable to a person like me. And there's so many big words, but there's a new species of Ecuadorian frog that was found that has a spine on its feet that is presumably used to puncture prey items or compete in predators. Now, Santiago Ron, an evolutionary biologist with the Catholic University of Ecuador, is who found this frog after a long time of hiking around, and he says that the frogs really blend in with their background amazingly, so it was very hard to detect them. But of course, like most sciencey type articles go, I'm going to urge you to go read this article if that's something you're interested in. And now we're going to move on to a segment of the show which I'm trying to cover every single time, but I'm just not doing a very good job of it because there's not too many people helping me with it. And that is a segment where we talk about somebody within our community who's doing great things, or just something, just an awesome person, okay? And today that person is going to be Supreme Gecko. If you guys haven't seen Supreme Gecko's YouTube channel, I want you know what, click off this video right now and go there, because he's doing much better stuff than we're doing here. Check out his stuff. It's absolutely, I'm going to be honest, I haven't followed him for a long time, but what I've been seeing, and from what I understand, he took a break from making videos for the reptile community. He's just come back doing it, and the information is genuine. Seems like a genuine guy, doing great stuff, has great information, and I highly urge you to check out his channel. And that being said, if you know anybody within the reptile community that is doing great things, or again, just an all-around genuine amazing person, please let me know in those comments down below, or send me a message on any of the social media networks so we can spotlight them on this show. And hey, if we help everybody out, maybe we can get more eyeballs on what everybody's doing, and some of these amazing people out there that usually wouldn't get the eyeballs, and maybe, just maybe, it'll help things in the future for these people. And now we're going to move on to a story out of Portland, which isn't really a story, but it is kind of a story. But the story is not what I really want to talk about, and the story is about where did all the garter snakes go. And the author mentions that in the 1970s you could find them everywhere, and now you can't find them everywhere. And they are blaming this in part by some rules in Portland that don't allow the cities to grow like crazy, and they're having to fill up empty parcels where snakes would usually live in there, and it's kind of pushing them away. But that's like a whole different story. That story kind of started what I really wanted to talk about. But yeah, that's a thing. So anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was I found it really interesting that they were giving a lot of tips on what you can do to promote snakes living on your property. And there are several things that I do down here. I do have some they're kind of man-made rock outcroppings using certain fire bricks and stuff. If you're unaware what those are, they're like 8x8 bricks that were used in old kilns to dry wood, that when I bought my property it was just littered with them. There's hundreds of them here. So I've got some outcroppings made out of those. I do have some corrugated tin that I have on the hillside out on the back 40, which is a great spot for king snakes and garter snakes and just pretty much anything that wants to run from some cover. And you know, I like to always urge people, if you have the space, to do something like this, because it's amazing when you could be sitting around home like I am right now at, I don't know, it's almost 5 o'clock on a Thursday evening, and you're kind of bored, you want to maybe find a frog or something, you go out back and lift up a piece of tin. It's that simple. So I urge everybody to do that. And that brings us kind of down to our question of the day. What do you guys do on your property to attract reptiles and amphibians, or whatever kind of animals you'd like to attract there? Leave a comment down below and let me know what that is. And that, my friends, is going to be all your news for this Friday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, those links are right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you Monday.